Nibbāna. This process of birth and death continues ad infinitum until this flux is transmuted. So to say, to Nibbāna Dhatu, the ultimate goal of Buddhists. The Pāli word Nibbāna, Sanskrit word is Nirvana, is formed of nir and vana. Nir is a negative particle, and vana means lusting or craving. It is called Nibbāna in that it is a departure from the craving, which is called vana, lusting. Literally, Nibbāna means non-attachment. It may also be defined as the extinction of lust, hatred, and ignorance. The whole world is in flames, says the Buddha. By what fire is it kindled? By the fire of lust, hatred, and ignorance. By the fire, birth, old age, death, pain, lamentation, sorrow, grief, and despair. It is kindled. It should not be understood that Nibbāna is a state of nothingness or annihilation, owing to the fact that we cannot perceive it with our worldly knowledge. One cannot say that there exists no light just because the blind man does not see it. In that well-known story, too, the fish arguing with the turtle, his friend, triumphantly concluded that there exists no land. Nibbāna of the Buddhists is neither a mere nothingness nor a state of annihilation. But what it is, no words can adequately express. Nibbāna is a Dhamma which is unborn, unoriginated, uncreated, and unformed. Hence it is eternal, duva, desirable, subha, and happy, sukha. In Nibbāna, nothing is eternalized, nor is anything annihilated besides suffering. According to the books, references are made to Nibbāna as Sopadisa Sa and Anupadisa Sa. These, in fact, are not two kinds of Nibbāna, but the one single Nibbāna, receiving its name according to the way it is experienced before and after death. Nibbāna is not situated in any place, nor is it a sort of heaven where a transcendental ego resides. It is a state which is dependent upon this body itself. It is an attainment Dhamma which is within the reach of all. Nibbāna is a supramundane state, attainable even in this present life. Buddhism does not state that this ultimate goal could be reached only in a life beyond. Here lies the chief difference between the Buddhist conception of Nibbāna and the non-Buddhist conception of an eternal heaven, attainable only after death, or a union with the God or divine essence in an afterlife. When Nibbāna is realized in this life with the body remaining, it is called Sopadisa Sa Nibbāna Dhatu. When an Arahant attains Parinibbāna after the dissolution of his body, without any remainder of physical existence, it is called Anupadisa Sa Nibbāna Dhatu. In the words of Sir Edwin Arnold, if any teach Nirvana is to cease, say unto such they lie. If any teach Nirvana is to live, say unto such they err. From a metaphysical standpoint, Nibbāna is deliverance from suffering. From a psychological standpoint, Nibbāna is the eradication of egoism. From an ethical standpoint, Nibbāna is the destruction of lust, hatred, and ignorance. Does the Arahant exist or not after death? The Buddha replies, The Arahant who has been released from 5 aggregates is deep, immeasurable like the mighty ocean. To say that he is reborn would not fit the case. To say that he is neither reborn nor not reborn would not fit the case. One cannot say that an Arahant is reborn, as all passions that condition rebirth are eradicated. Nor can one say that the Arahant is annihilated, for there is nothing to annihilate. Robert Oppenheimer, a scientist, writes, "If we ask, for instance, whether the position of the electron remains the same, we must say no. If we ask whether the electron's position changes with time, we must say no. If we ask whether the electron is at rest, we must say no. If we ask whether it is in motion, we must say no." The Buddha has given such answers when interrogated as to the conditions of man's self after death, but they are not familiar answers from the tradition of the 17th and 18th century science.